After a few months in the mountains and at altitude, we were excited for the next stage in the trip and the downhill to the Pacific. We, however, had a few more 2,000 metre climbs between us and the downhill, and unfortunately, everything came together at the wrong time. We were caught in a storm at 4,500 metres, bringing in hail and snow, meaning we had to take shelter in the nearest hospedaje, not offering much more than a cold room and a bed. It was at this point that Phoebe and I decided to get ill at the same time, and before long, we were both vomiting, which would last all night. It was only after 36 hours of rest that we were able to leave the room with empty bellies and ominous hills ahead of us. How much sleep did you get last night, Phoebe?
Maybe, I'd say 8-10 minute bursts.
Yeah. Classic Peruvian roads. We're back above 4,000 metres in this weird dreamland landscape. We've spent the past 36 hours chucking our guts up and couldn't be in a worse location. There's not much around, and now we're just trying to crawl our way to a hot shower or any kind of comfort to make ourselves feel better. Look at the one trangia technique.
Reason number 1 million why trangias are the best things ever to be invented. There we have the rice. Here we have the curry. Here we have the lid. Here we have the levers.
Wow. We took these hills in our stride slowly and managed to start eating again. And after a few days, we were at the highly anticipated downhill. This was 80 kilometres of steady downhill, the best I've ever had, winding past lorries with dodgy brakes as the scenery turned more and more into desert. We arrived at Nazca at the bottom with huge smiles, opting to avoid the local planes to see the Nazca lines. After hearing about a plane crash a few months ago with no survivors, we cycled to the viewing platform where we were mildly disappointed. Nazca lines, and Peru have built a road through it. Wow. We continued on through the desert and arrived at Huacachina, a gap year frequented oasis offering all sorts of activities. We opted for the dune buggy ride, which was more like a roller coaster, and sandboarding, where I took some big slams and I'm still finding sand everywhere. Another section through the desert, which was absolutely spectacular, and we had finally arrived at the sea, land of swims, waves, surfing, and our favourite pisco sours. This was perfect timing for Phoebe to get her swimming costume stuck in her gears, getting the idea originally from Megan. Whose swimming costume is this, Phoebe?
It's actually not mine. It's one of my cousins.
The Pacific. Imagine that. the Pacific! We managed to rent some boards and had a really fun surf on a reeling left-hand point break with nobody else out except for a pod of dolphins who were surfing with us. According to the locals, it was too windy, but I don't think they really know what windy is. We also got to take a boat ride round Paracas Nature Reserve, where I could finally see some penguins, something that we had missed out on with Chile being shut, as well as loads of other birds, probably on their summer holidays from Cornwall, and seals and sea lions. We took the pretty unsightly and dirty road to Lima, which miraculously turned into a cycle path along the coast as we got close to Lima, a first for us in South America, and a journey that we were really dreading. We are now resting up in the Casa de Ciclistas, where I am sorting out my surf setup for the north. In the next video, we'll be doing a Q&A, so please send in any questions that you may have about the trip. Thanks for watching.